we start with the roadmap for BBEC replication. I will just make some comments in the introduction, and I will repeat some slides from Davide, so sorry for repeating 2 times, but I think it's good, especially for those that has not been involved in the project, that you can get what we were developing here. So the roadmap for BBEC replication is just a replication methodology for the establishment of bio-based education centers across external regions from the project. So the idea is to give you a capacity building tool that covers several aspects. So we are giving in the report a long introduction indicating the motivation for the developing of so bio-based education center is the acronym is BBEC. So from now, I will go shorter because otherwise every time I say BBEC is going to take a lot. So after that, we have a roadmap in which we have divided the stage you should go through in order to replicate our experience with concrete points that we recommend to follow in order to develop a center that has it's going to give what the customers will expect and things like that. So it's just like this, and okay, I don't want to go through this, but as introduction, as David said, so the project, the BIOBEC project, it's the preparation of BBECs to meet industry needs and boost contribution of the bioeconomy to social challenge. We are 19 partners that most of us are involved in university degrees, also university sector, academic sector, sorry. And also there are research centers involved and private enterprise, so private initiatives. With our experience, we have tried to, in a theoretical point of view, to develop these centers to have the task. So the bioeconomy strategy from the European Union was established some time ago. It has 5 main goals that are ensure food and nutritional security, manage natural resources and in a sustainable way, reduce dependence on non-renewable sources, mitigate and adapt to climate change, and strengthen European competitiveness and create jobs. So these 5 goals has been or should be implemented by 14 concrete actions. And one of these actions is to promote education, training and skills disseminated and skills to industry. Of course, this fits with the BIOBEC project. And yeah, so we are on that point. This is a map in which is represent the bioeconomy strategy application in the different regions. This is not how the bioeconomy is implemented in each region, but it's only the strategy, and it's going to give us an idea. Or the idea that we want to share with you is that the develop in a regional way is really heterogeneous, and that it's a perfect place in which you can develop different strategies depending on this development. And BIOBEC project is taking this thing. So we have regions in which the strategies poorly, is not developed or is poor developed, to regions in which we have a strong development. And yeah, so we want to have this discrepancy or this broad range of activity. So, as David said, the main objective of the BIOBEC project is to create a holistic framework for developing and establishing multi-level BBECs that are flexible enough to answer the present and future needs of the industry and of the surrounding ecosystem at local, regional, and national levels. The activities that are involved in today are mainly in the objective number 4, that is to provide a rollout strategy and a roadmap for coordination the replication of the BBECs at European and also international level. But then comes the question, what is a BBEC? And the definition of BBEC was developed at the really beginning of the project. As David already said, it's a regional delimited construct designed to build and coordinate a communities of actors who offer education and training in the bioeconomy, promoting knowledge and innovation in the field. The concept is not to go to these educational centers as traditional thinking way. It's more or less to go to this hub structure. So in these hubs, the aim is to integrate different stakeholders, promote cooperation between them, include bioeconomy and bio-based economy as an essential part, leading role in bioeconomy at regional, national, and international levels, develop education, training, research, and innovation strategic actions and activities for any educational level, and establish it or emerging hubs with long-lasting vision and strategy. So, say that, how was the project developed? So we designed 6 theoretical pilot BBECs that has developed their activity in 4 stages. We have one that is needs so to know the needs and expectations, to assess the ecosystem needs and criteria and conditions of the BBEC setting up. Then we go through a second stage, that is the design of the centers, especially having in mind governance plans, financial plans, maintenance plans. And when we have finished this part, we are in the stage 3, that is the feasibility and sustainability assessment of the BBEC. No, sorry, we are in the stage 4, that is the rollout, of course. In this part, we also we want to provide with tools in order to train the trainers, share best practices, story maps, international positioning and networking and replication, of course. So, as we already told you, so this is a theoretical activity, and we have developed it in 6 different locations. The flags are not reflecting the complexity, but let's, in order to reduce complexity, let's move. I know. So there are 4 BBECs that has a national framework, let's say like this, led by Irish, Denmark, Finland, and Germany. And we have 2 hubs that are formed by several, a multinational level, let's say. The first one is the Poland one that also involves Bulgaria and Czech Republic, and the Mediterranean one that is developed for Italy and Spain. Okay, so this gives us a real theoretical experience, let's say like this, because something is what you expect, and when you start this kind of activities, you start to see problems, and you try to adapt what you have in mind to the real world, let's say like that. So after recover this experience, it comes the part of make this roadmap for the BBEC replication. So we take all the experience we got, and now we are trying to show you the best practices, or how we think it's a good methodology to develop to guarantee a success in the developing of these centers. Okay? So now it's time. So how to develop a BBEC, basically. And we recommend, or we think that a 5-stage, let's say, flow or workflow, it's recommended. So we think that it's important to have a preparatory stage at the beginning of the project, complete the different actions we see here, and after you have completed this, you go through the next stage. Okay, as everything in life, linearity sometimes is not possible. There are also things that you need to take and go back and recheck and continue. But okay, let's think that is a linear process. Of course, there are some activities that can be done between the stages. But in general, yeah, so this is a decision that the one that wants to replicate it, they should do. Okay? So let's go for the preparatory stage. So for complete this preparatory stage, we recommend to finish 2 actions. The first one is to create a working group, and the other is to create a advisory committee. So, and after you finish these 2 steps, you can continue with the stage 1. So we think that the working group is needed in order to lead the process. And also it's important that the people that is going to form this group are experts in bioeconomy, has also kind of education knowledge. So like bioeconomy is a multidisciplinary thing, we recommend that you get enough people with enough experience to carry out the initial steps. We said here that should be temporal, but also temporal but changing on time. So let's say like this. So it's something transition. It's a transitional stage. So yeah, and in the document, I will not go one by one, of course. In the document that we shared yesterday, you have descriptions and tips to create this working group. And basically it's 9 steps, and after you have completed these 9 steps, you can consider that you create your working group. The other group that you should try to get as soon as possible is the advisory committee, because this is a representative group of persons of relevant stakeholders, and they will give you real needs on what the industry needs, for example. And also it will provide provision and guidance, advice, recommendations, etc. And it must be a collective knowledge and experience. So we also we give you 5 steps. And it's well explained in the report, so let's move to the next one. So as soon as you have finished this, you consider that the first stage is done. and then you move to the stage 1. That is stakeholder analysis and identification of needs, opportunities, and expectations. You need to know what you have in your region. That's the main message here. And for that, we recommend 3 actions. And so we are now in the analytic part of the establishment of this BIOBEC. So you need to analyze the needs, expectations, and opportunities in your region, scope the best practices and success cases that you already have, and the identification and mapping of the stakeholders that they will help you in the formation of this education center. So, regarding to the identification and mapping of the stakeholders, we recommend go through the quadruple helix of the innovation. So, all sectors involving academia, industry, government, and civil society. And after you have identified those stockholders, it's time to make like a map. So to know which relation has between them, which kind of experience can give to you, and the most important of the map is a visual tool that will allow you to identify, for example, gaps, basically. And after that, you have a representation like this, okay? So I took the Spanish one. I'm Spaniard, so that's the main reason. And, okay, it's the Mediterranean one, and of course, we are collaborating. But the main work has been done by Italy. Okay, so they identify specifically which stakeholders, which connections they have. As we are a international BBEC, how we can connect between us. And now, for example, it's easier to see what is missing here, for example. And I'll give you an example. For example, I will recommend, for example, in the case of the region of Italy, there is no governmental organizations mapped. And then you have a real fast way to identify, okay, I need to find this, to collaborate with them in order to get their experience. And okay, so each BBEC has done this activity, and and we recommend to do it also. Then you have identified your stakeholders, and now it's time to get the information. So to get the information during the BBEC, so the BIOBEC project, we have developed surveys, workshops that allows you to get the information. And among all the questions you have and the needs, there are 2 main questions that you need to try to solve here. That is, do you need a BBEC in your region first? And the second is, or maybe I can readjust what I have already and to go through. So having these 2 minds, so setups, the questions are different, of course. So in our case, as we were developing new BBECs, we try to identify skills, competencies that are needed in a specific region, the specialization required from vocal education to PhDs and so on. Educational training centers, how flexible they are, because we are expecting bioeconomies a really fast changing environment. And the current, or which are the current status of education and training centers. And also communication is taking a really strong importance in all places if the citizens are aware about the importance of bioeconomy. In the other hand, if you want to readapt the build, you need to have completely different questions. So, do you have already an institution that is working close with industry? Which kind of infrastructure you have, and so on, so forth. And this will give you the idea of, okay, I start from scratch, or I take what I have, and let's try to adapt. As I told you, in the report, you have some of the surveys we need in order to know the needs that these stakeholders has and the opportunities that they offer. Then it comes the next action on this stage 1, that is the scoping of best practices and success case. And this is important because you will see successful methodologies, approaches, and strategies. And if it's worked before, why it's not going to work now? So it's the flow in this kind of activities. Of course, we gave you like the inventory of best practices, and then you need to do the analysis. And during the project development in the deliverable 1.2, we recommend like a guidelines, okay? And we think that this guideline is quite nice because it points what you really need. So you need to apply a long-term perspective, involve university, involve stakeholders early, develop effective cooperation models and governance structure, create models, facilities for cooperative research, and co-creation of suitable education programs, seek political support, support networking with dedication, keep stakeholders interested, and as more diverse you are, better are your chance, let's say this, okay? So after these 2 points is, in fact they were 3. Then it comes, so the analytical part is over. Now it comes the point of taking decisions. And that must be done in the stage 2 of our roadmap. That is here. I skipped some of them. So it's to take decisions. So it's the operational model. So we recommend in this point 2 actions. First is the co-creation and conceptual design of the BBEC at your regional level, and the design of a draft of business model that you will use for the stage 3. Okay, that's why we said that you need to complete 1 to go through the next stage. So for the creation and the conceptual design, we have developed several tools you can find in the report. But also it's important to, let's say, we recommend to do like a workshop, as we are doing right now, in which you can design the concept you want to develop. So, and the concept is just to know the scope of the BBEC, the target sector you want to go through, the areas of activity, actors involved, potential governance, funding model, cross international opportunities, and timelines. And this, it's a starting point for the next stage, as I said. So then you can have an idea, you can open also to external people, and they will, so it will enrich the development. So regarding to the business model, it's also important to start to think about how we are going to fund the project. So with this kind of tools, you have, it provides a visual representation of the different aspects you need to cover for your model, so for your business. It used to have like 9 blocks, and you identify specific points. So, for example, customer segments. So if I want to go through people that is not at university degree, stakeholders that are important in the region, things like that, you are identifying them, you are writing notes. Which is your value proposition? So why your BBEC is going to be important at your region. Channels of communication and channels that you are going to spread, that you are creating something new and that is interesting and it fits with industry needs. And several other aspects that in this initial point are important in order to keep in mind for the sustainability of the education sector in the future. Okay, so this, as we recommend, it can be done in a single workshop, and so it's a relative short period of time. When you have finished this second stage, it's time for the feasibility and sustainability planning. And this will take 5 main actions. You need to, or it's recommended to start to make a competitive analysis, to define your key activities, and to design 3 plans that are going to design the governance, the financial, and the sustainability of the different of your education center. For competitive analysis, there are plenty of tools. We recommend this kind of activity because you need to fight in. So not fight is not the word. Maybe it's too hard, but you need to survive in a not really nice environment, and for that you need to know what is in your region. So, and you need to know what, for example, if you take this SWOT tool, you need to know your strengths, which are your weaknesses, which kind of opportunities are you offering, and at the end, threats. And there are several models. So competitor analysis is giving you like an analytical view of how is your position at that level. And it will give you an idea if your idea or your, let's say, business will work or not. The definition of key activities are oriented in 2 blocks, or we think that are oriented in 2 blocks. The first one is the characterization of education and training programs to be offered. So skills you target for develop, learning objectives, content address, admission requirements, teaching method, learning instruments, and of course, you need to go through the standard and certification schemes, because this will give reputation to your programs, educational programs, quality, relevance, recognition, and integrity of them. So then the next action is the design of the governance plan. So using your business model, depending on your business model or the model you want to go through, this allows you to make an organizational structure, so design the organizational structure, so how it's going to work this center. You are going to establish the hierarchies, who is going to take the decisions, which policies are in your region specifically for your activity, and this will give you an idea of how to start to work. Then the design of the financial plan is for the long term, it's essential. So this will ensure stability and and effective budgeting and resource allocation, and even more things like strategic decision making and stakeholders' confidence, because they have enough economical model. So at that point in the report, we are giving some recommendations, guidelines that involves the definition of goals and objectives, how to create a budget, forecast revenue, projection of expenses, cash flow management, risk assessment and mitigation, monitoring, evaluation, and seeking of professional advice. Regarding to the sustainability plan, so you need to anticipate and adapt to change in the environment. And we think that bioeconomy is going to be a really fast changing environment, at least at the beginning. Then as soon as stabilize, let's see. And these sustainability plans helps to future-proof the center, so enabling to mitigate risk and identify opportunities for innovation, growth, achieve, and long-term success. There are several actions, and I think we can skip this part. Go one by one is nonsense. At the end, so you have your analysis, you have planned how to organize your center, and now comes the time to communicate what you have done. So it's the communication thingy. Also, you need to start to think about risks and how you need to manage them. And after that, if it comes the continuous improvement, no, is the evaluation plan. You need to readapt and to think that it's not something stable, so it's changing. And for that, you need to measure. Yeah, that's why it's important that plan. So we recommend at this stage basically 4 actions, or the developing of 4 plans: the communication plan, the development of stakeholders engagement and mobilization plan, design of risk management plan, and development of monitoring and evaluation plan. So regarding to the communication plan, we believe in this 5 W's of communications. Who says what, in which channel, to whom, and which what effect. And for the communication plan, it's important to have specific objectives of communications. You need to identify your target, because depending on your target you have, the channel is nowadays is different. Not the same to connect with baby boomers that set generation millennials or beta in the future case. And also it needs their own resources, and you need to develop this specifically for the communication activities. How to engage stakeholders and the mobilization plans. So this is key elements to raise awareness, and I think it's one of the really hard things. So because to keep the engagement of the stakeholders sometimes is hard. And then we recommend several actions during the report. Especially, you need to use your previous work as so the identification analytic stakeholder, develop engagement strategies designed in order to keep your stakeholders active in your activity, and of course the implementation and evaluation of engagement activities, so surveys, workshop, interviews, or specific. So detect specific needs that they have. And also this is connected with the liaison with other sectors, regions, projects, and initiatives. Like for example, the European Bioeconomy Network, European Bioeconomy University, that they can also share this kind of activities. So the design of risk management plan, it's just an approach to anticipate risks. I think it's important to keep always in mind that you need to handle risks. And for handle this kind of risks, you need to identify, assessment, prioritization of risk, develop of risk mitigation strategy, implement risks, and monitoring and review. And on the report, we plenty explain how to go through all these points. And finally, the monitoring and evaluation. So this is a way to reconnect with your stage 0. So you need to evaluate constantly. What are your needs? If there is changes in the region that now allows you to make another type of activities. So you need to have this continuous improvement all the time. And in the report, we define the purpose and scope, identification of key indicators, data collection and analysis method, establishment of evaluation timeframes, definition of roles, reporting and implementation of the plan. So basically, this is our roadmap report. Okay, it's a description of our report that takes our previous ideas, and also we have incorporated new ones because we got experience during the opening of the BIOBEC.